Hey, what's up, everyone? Long time. So, I was asked a really important question just a couple of hours ago by one of my new clients who I'm working with who is going through a difficult breakup. And this question is so important. It's the reason why I think people have difficult breakups. His question is um, how to find your life purpose. Okay, this is something that I come across so much, and I'm sure we all do. Yeah, this is a big thing for human beings. Why? What am I doing here? What is my purpose? You know, um, Having goals, having a purpose to exist, to live is one of the biggest drivers and catalysts for a happy and fulfilling life. Okay? To wake up in the morning, to know that you're working towards a goal, towards a purpose, and even better, towards multiple goals, towards multiple purposes, not just having one. Now, the reason why this is such an important question that he asked, and I'm so proud that he's asked this question, because to me, when someone who's going through a breakup asks me this question, it's a sign that they are mentally moving in the correct direction. Because the reason why most people have difficult breakups, one of the biggest reasons why, in my opinion, is because they have replaced their life purpose, their life goals with the person they were in a relationship with. They turned that person into their goal, into their life purpose. And I think doing a little bit of that is okay. Turning someone into part of your life, you know, uh, one of the important things in your life. But to make a person, that you're in a relationship with, whether it's your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your husband or your wife, to make that person your life purpose or your life goal, this is going to be a huge source of pain and suffering if this person is no longer there, or things don't last forever. Yeah, so relationships come and go, and even if your relationship is going to last for as long as you're alive, you're not always going to be with this person. Okay, now I could spend an entire day telling you why another human being shouldn't be your goal or your purpose or your objective in life. And I can also spend an entire day telling you that most people do that, seek another person as their goal, as their objective. Oh, when I find this person, I will be happy. When I find the one for me, I will be happy in life. When I find my soulmate, when I find the ideal person, when I find my true love, then I will be happy. Okay, and like I said, I can spend an entire video or entire day talking about how the majority of human beings, especially in the West, but all around the world, are driven by this primary goal in life. That when I find my true love or my match, my partner, I will be happy. Okay, now a lot of it has to do with from birth watching all these movies and reading, growing up on all these stories of love and romance and meeting the one and then living happily ever after and all of this kind of stuff. But it also goes back beyond that. And don't worry, I'm not going to digress too much. I want to go more quickly into the meat of this topic, which is how to find your life purpose and what your life purpose should be. Um, but going back to what I was saying just a second ago, you know, conditioned from birth, in a society that's, not so accepting of if you're single, if you're on your own, it's more about, having a partner, happy relationships. It's what we see in the magazines and the movies and, et cetera, et cetera. But it also goes, you know, back towards our instinctual needs as human beings. So programmed in us is this biological uh, instinctual need to find a mate. So it is part of our objective in life. At a genetic level, it is part of our purpose in life. Okay? But keep in mind, and sorry I keep doing this, it's just trying to get the lighting a bit better on my camera. So instinctually, yes, it is a part of our objective of our life, but it shouldn't be the only one. It's a part of our life objective. And keep in mind also that our world that we live in today is is evolving so quickly, and we don't live in prehistoric times anymore, or whatever the correct word is, Neolithic times. Back in the caveman days, we're not living in those times anymore where it's like critical to survival to find a mate, you know, to create a strong family unit. It's no longer as critical. Nowadays, the world we live in, I mean, I can spend another video on why our world is so different now. People can adopt, people don't need to be married necessarily. People, it's just the world we live in has is really different to what our biology is geared for. Okay, so I always describe this as we're going through a painful evolution, where our biology is not so in sync with the society and the world that we live in, our environment, basically. So our biology is not so in sync with our environment. Or another way to put it, we have not biologically evolved to match our current environment, because our environment's changing so rapidly and our biology is just trying to keep up and adapt. Okay, and it's a big reason for why people have problems with so many people have depression, anxiety. I mean, look, if you're speeding on a freeway at 80 miles per hour, I mean, that is terrifying. Most people have just become numb to that, and it's just normal. But we're not biologically designed for that, or to be up, however high planes are, traveling at 500 miles per hour. We're not biologically designed for that, okay? So, I've been traveling recently. I had a tournament a couple of days ago in the Philippines, and, traveling a lot more, and I see babies, on planes, and just the way they cry, and to me it's like, well, yeah, it makes sense, because you're not supposed to, like, humans aren't supposed to be up, like traveling so fast, and let alone a little baby. All right, so let's get back to the meat of this, finding your life purpose, and why most people in breakups suffer so much is because when they break up, they don't have their life purpose. They've invested their life objective and their life goals in their partner. They have replaced all of they might have gone into the relationship with goals and objectives and an awesome life purpose, which is maybe what made them attractive in the first place. They had their goals, they had their life purpose, they had all these things, and then through the relationship lost themselves, started to focus their attention more on their partner as their source of happiness and wholeness, rather than their own life journey and their own life goals. So, speaking from my own personal experience, I had a breakup, I remember, in around 2008, 2007, 2008, and I didn't suffer like even a day, okay? Because I was so driven, I had my goals. I didn't When I was with this person, I didn't give up too much of myself. I was still very much focused on my own journey and my own life purpose. Hold on, let me just turn some lights on here. It's pretty dark. All right. So I don't know if that's better, but yeah. I remember being able to move on very quickly because I had goals. I had other big things that were interesting to me. Okay, and most people who suffer and are destroyed in a relationship, in a breakup, or really suffer. It's the truth of it is that you've lost um, the most interesting thing in your life. That's the bottom line, is that the most interesting thing in your life has now gone, okay? And your relationship, like I said, it's the person you're with should be an important part of your life, but it shouldn't be the only interesting, you know, purpose, goal in your life, okay? So now, interesting or interest, this word is really important now, okay? Because to answer the question of how do I find my purpose in life, a lot of us are driven by what is interesting, okay, and we're attracted by what is interesting. So the reason why a lot of people, the majority of people, have real problems with finding their purpose, finding goals that interest them, the reason why it's so difficult to find your life purpose in general is because of addiction comes into this. Because we are no longer interested by most things, and we have kind of gone up the ladder of addiction, and by that I mean, like, I'll use my favorite example of, like, you start off with water, drinking water with your food, and water is like, I love water. It's so delicious. It's the best, most refreshing drink. But then someone introduces orange juice, and then you're like, oh man, this is way better than water. Screw water. Water now becomes boring, and like you'll be depressed if you're given water. You want orange juice. Then someone comes along with a cold bottle of ice cold fizzy Coke or Sprite, whatever you like. Okay? Then orange juice is no longer interesting. Coke is the new interesting thing. And then someone comes over one day with an ice cold bottle of beer or whatever it is, an amazing cocktail, and gives you that. And not only is it delicious and fizzy, but you start to feel like, good as well. All right, so this is like the ladder of addiction, okay? Now, when you get to the ice cold, fizzy, delicious cocktail that makes you feel good, water now is like the most depressing thing of all. Like, you don't want to even touch water, you know? So it's the same thing with our life, finding our life purpose. Most of us have real difficulty finding a purpose in life because we've burned everything. We've made everything uninteresting in our life. We've done so much, we've tried so much, and we keep on pushing the limits so that we want more and more and more and more, so that all the things that we grew up enjoying are no longer interesting. We keep wanting more and more and more. And what can be more interesting than another human being? So, like, really, ultimately, one of the most interesting things, or one of the hardest drugs or hardest addictions for a human is another human. All the drama that comes with it, the complex game and power, you know, shifts, and just the communication dynamics, the sexual energy, especially if it's like opposite sexes, in a relationship. I mean, it's a really interesting uh, it's a really interesting drug. It's something that's we find very interesting. Okay, so to find your life purpose or your life goals, you basically need to find something that's interesting to you, right? That's what a life purpose that will work for you will be. It's something that you wake up and you're interested in. You're like, I'm interested to do this. Okay? Now, it's hard when you've come out of a relationship because your relationship was so interesting. That person was so interesting. And it's raised your bar of what is interesting for you in life. So now everything else is not as interesting, not as exciting. Or an even better word than interesting is stimulating. Okay? So going back to water, water is normal, but it's, when you condition yourself to drink water, it's delicious and your life is awesome. But then you go towards the orange juice, which is more stimulating, it's sweeter, or then towards the Coke, which is more stimulating because it has fizz and it's sweet and it's cold, okay? And it's fun the way it's marketed, yeah. And then you go up to something that's even more stimulating, stimulates more senses, all right. And then another human being is so stimulating to us. There's the drama, there's the so I'm sure you guys are getting what I'm trying to get at. So when you decide that you're going to put all your attention, which, remember, attention is power. When you put all your attention and your power into something like another person, especially something so stimulating, and you're captivated by this person, and you start to neglect your other goals and your other things that interest you, because you put more of your time and energy, and this is how addiction works. Addiction works by creating a habit. When you start to do things more and more and more and more, and then you start doing the other things less and less, they become less interesting, and the things that you're doing more becomes more interesting. We energize and make powerful the things that we put our attention on more and more. Okay, so the short answer, which is probably not what you all want to hear, to finding your life purpose is to heal yourself from unhealthy, stimulating addictions first. So you have to come down the ladder and go towards water again, okay? So this is the first big phase of how to find your life purpose, is identify the unhealthy addictions in your life, the unhealthy stimulating things in your life. It could be this, this is one hell of a stimulating thing. I mean, every time it buzzes or vibrates or you get a notification, it's like getting a hit, a heroin hit. This is like one of the most powerful, stimulating, interesting things right now in our world. And we're all, a lot of people are addicted to these things, okay? And it's, we get a lot of attention from this through the people we communicate with. And attention is love. Attention is power. Attention is energy. So when we when we find something that can energize us, but in a bad way, in a stimulating way. Remember, there's a difference between things that energize us in a healthy, long, like a long-lasting way, and there's things that are short, stimulating buzzes that, like drugs or sex or anything that feels amazing, but very short period of time. Those are the things that you have to be very careful of, because they can make everything else in life less interesting. So if you're in watching a lot of porn or this and that, you've got to be really careful because you're going to make everything else in life less interesting. You're going to make playing your guitar or drawing or painting or, sports or whatever it is. You're going to make, see, look, the lighting becomes really good now. Why can't I just set it so that it's like stays like this? If anyone out there knows the answer, please let me know, because I don't want to keep my hands out like this during this video. Okay, so I hope this is all making sense. Okay, so it's not like what you want to hear. Okay, but this is the way to do it. Is first of all, you've got to work on your addictions. So you've got to probably go through some cold turkey. Cold turkey means you've got to start to reduce the amount of whatever it is you're doing: porn, drinking sugar, eating salty foods, eating carbohydrates, like unhealthy carbs. Like for example, I love pizza. Who doesn't love pizza? Everyone loves pizza. Pizza is amazing, or bread or sandwiches. But the other thing with bread is that it turns into sugar when you eat it. So you get that carb spike. When you eat pizza, it's just boom. It's like stimulating carbohydrate spike of energy. That's why we love it. It feels great when we eat it. Okay, it's actually satisfying a part of our brain. Okay, when we eat that stuff. Okay, so check out my awesome ginger tea. I drink this stuff every day. Ginger tea is like really easy to make. I just buy the ginger. Can you see it's in there? And I chop it up. I actually just cut strips into it, and then I just dump it in hot, boil some water, pour it on there, and oh yeah, I forgot. Today I added honey and lemon to it. And ginger is really good for if you work out. It's an anti-inflammation, so it brings down the inflammation in your body, helps you recover and heal faster, so that you can train more, or it's just good for the body. So, the first phase of finding your life purpose, and I'm sure that my new client, who I told him, hey, I'm going to answer your question by doing a video. I'm sure he's probably watching and thinking, oh man, this is really not the answer I wanted to hear, because this answer is going to actually require work. Phase one is identify as many unhealthy, stimulating, addictive things that you're doing in your life. Whether it's too much being on your phone, too much Facebooking, too much Twittering, too much whatever, alcohol, smoking, too much dating, too much sex, whether it's porn or too much, be aware of what things that are addictive and stimulating in your life that are taking over your life and not allowing you. And that's the definition of an addiction, by the way. How do you define what is an addiction? Is when it takes control of your life. When it starts to take more of your life away from you. Okay? Because for me, I'm speaking from experience here, music for me was like my biggest passion. Writing music, writing albums, and if you guys ever want to go check out some of my stuff, ask me in the comments and I'll send you a link. Okay, but yeah, I'm in a band, and for me, writing music for me was like the most fun thing ever. Like it's just awesome. Then when I started getting into a relationship, that became more interesting than music. Okay. And then when I had my breakup, then it was hard for me to go back to music, because I just thought, oh, music's boring now. Sex is more interesting. Relationships are more interesting. I want a beautiful girlfriend that I can, hang out with, go to the movies with, have dinner with, be intimate with, go hiking with, go on trips with. That's more interesting to me than music, being indoor all day and writing music, right? So you can see how easy it is to get trapped and to lose yourself. But the truth is that all that relationship stuff, it's great and it's nice, but it doesn't come close to how amazing music was for my life, or is for my life. The power of music is the power of me connecting to myself. And I'm going to wrap this video up with essentially what the whole thing is, which is phase 2 of how to find your life purpose, which is self-love. Find the things that are about you. Like for me, writing music, making music is about me. It's my journey. When I write music, when I draw, when I paint, it's about spending time with myself. So you time, me time, does find the things that do not involve other people. Creative things, creative endeavors, whatever it is. I'll tell you one of my biggest life purposes and life goals is, and that is, and I can see that this video is kind of getting out of sync with the audio. I hate it when that happens. Let me close some programs down. Might help. All right, I'm going to wrap this up real quick, but one of my biggest, most interesting and fun goals in life is just self-love, taking care of myself. I wake up in the morning, I take a shower, I shave, I trim a little bit, make sure that I feel good with how I look, and then I go to the gym, I train 2 hours of jiu-jitsu, I come back home having learned something, having pushed myself a little harder, take a shower, I do a few emails, and then I head to a place where I can work in an environment that's full of life and good energy, positive people, and I eat my food and I take my laptop and I just chill there, places that have good free Wi-Fi. It can be a coffee shop, whatever. You got to find these things for yourself. These are just the things that I have found. And then I work for a few hours, I eat, good food, and then I do some work, and then I like to go here where I live at the moment in Thailand. There are these saunas, steam rooms, and ice baths. It's kind of like a Thai bathhouse, and I go every day. I jump in the ice bath, I then go into the steam room, and then I go back in the ice bath, and then into the sauna, and then I chill. They have people that massage you, so I get a massage, and then after that, I come back home, I shower, and then I will do another an hour of different kind of training. So it might be some strength and conditioning or some weights, or I'll go for a run, or I'll do some uphill sprints, or I'll do Muay Thai, something different. And then I come home again. Yes, you're thinking, how many showers does this guy take? I'll take another. I'll clean up again, take a shower, and then I prepare for my fun, the rest part of my day, which is being home and maybe downloading a movie, thinking of an incredible feast for dinner that I might take away, or I might go on a date, and have dinner out with someone, meet someone. It doesn't have to be about sex. It's just to meet, and be with the opposite sex, and just it's good, So I like to do that, and then come home, do more work, do some emailing, maybe watch some documentaries or some YouTube videos, and just kind of stay on top of my stuff. And this is my life, and I love it. And it's called self-loving yourself. It's called making yourself your life purpose. Making your best version of yourself your life purpose. And it's a constant thing that we'll do until death. I look at my body as if it's I don't know how to describe it, like almost like a project car, or a tree, or a plant, or something that I just want to take care of. My skin, my hair, my joints, my muscles, my cardio, my heart, my mind. Let's not forget the most important thing: your mind, your emotional state. there is so much room for improvement that it will keep you occupied until the day you die. And it's, for me, I find it so much fun. And I wasn't always interested in this, but through my hardships, through my breakup, through, all the difficulties that I've been through in life, I guess I became more appreciative and more interested in taking care of myself, because you're going to be with yourself from the day you're born till the day you die. You're going to be with yourself forever, basically. So take care of yourself and make yourself your life purpose. You know, go to saunas, go to massages, go to spas. You know, give yourself the best quality foods. Give yourself, you know, like I said, I put jojoba oil on my body maybe once a week. I take care of my skin. I eat good food. And if some of you out there are thinking, "Wow, this all sounds expensive," like massages, spas, all this kind of stuff, training. Yeah, it's not cheap, but people spend way more money drinking, partying on a weekend, buying stupid shit that they don't use and they don't need, being a consumer. I don't look at you can tell I don't buy much clothes. I just have like 6 of these, a couple of shorts, a pair of jeans. I don't even wear this all the time, as many of you know. So I focus my money and my attention on uh, things that I believe are going to energize me and empower me and make me a better version of myself. So, it's a choice you have to make. Decide on, you know, are you going to be a victim to your stimulation, to stimulating things, to addictive things, or are you going to slowly take more control over your life and to find your life purpose, to find goals that interest you so that when you wake up, you're like, yes, I'm interested in this. First things first, you've got to heal and get over the addictions, whether it's your breakup, your previous relationship, or other addictions that you have. First, get over those, heal, and the way to get over them is by, thinking of them less, doing them less. Um, and then it's not going to be easy. Like for me to get back into music after my relationship, it wasn't easy, but you just have to do it. Remember how addiction works. The more you do something, the more you get addicted to it. So just playing my guitar again, a little bit, and then it became interesting, fun again. Listening to music more became amazing again. So just, it's about your attention and what you place your attention on, and having the strength to take your attention off things that are not good for you and putting them onto things that are good for you. So that is one of my perspectives on finding your life purpose, and I hope it helps in some way. And if you guys have any thoughts or comments or questions, go ahead and put them down below. Otherwise, sending you all the best. And, as I say in all my videos, I consider myself quite a lazy person. So doing all of this overnight is not going to happen. Do it a little by little. If you're watching porn a lot and that's your addiction, rather than doing it 5 times a day or twice a day, cut it down so you're doing it half of that. If you're doing it like 4 times a week, do it 2 times a week. So be smart. Just phase it down a little by little. Every week, little more and little more, it becomes easier. If you do it that way, it's easier. If you try to quit porn overnight, it's not going to work, because you're going to maybe quit it for a few days and then boom, you're going to be in there harder than you were before. Same goes for alcohol, sex, relationships, anything. Just phase whatever you're doing out a little bit. If you're too much on the phone, again, just phase it out a little, okay? So I'll talk to you guys soon, and hopefully I'll have some better lighting next time. Yeah, like that. Maybe I should hire someone to just put their hands here. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye. Oh, hey, and a very important thing I forgot to mention is that when you do phase one, which is cutting down the addictions and the things that are stimulating that make everything else in your life less interesting, once you phase down and go down the ladder towards water again, great. And then number two, when you increase the self-love, taking care of yourself, I forgot to mention very important thing is, so when you do phase one, phase two, which is the self-love, come to yourself, making yourself whole, stronger, powering yourself up, making your power greater, then your life purpose tends to like bloom. There will be so many things that will be interesting to you. Okay, so that's the whole point of this video, is that when you are able to recover from the addictions, come back down, everything else in life becomes more interesting. Um, as you love yourself more, energize yourself more, take care of yourself more, you become more attractive, you become stronger. Okay, so these two steps or phases, as I like to call them, will change your view of life. So more things will be interesting in life, and you will more easily be able to find what you love to do every morning and all day long. Okay, so I know it's hard to get a feel for this, or maybe to believe it, or whatever, because you're not in that state of mind now. But when you get into that state of mind, everything becomes awesome. Then so many things will be interesting. Sport-related things, creative-related things, maybe business-related things. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Gonna wrap it up again with my hands right here. Boom! Shake, shake, shake the roof.